There is just more to life than social media. Sometimes I think, why am I placing so much pressure on myself? So it's kind of like a catch-22, like you want to do it for more people, but actually you should focus on the people you're already doing it for. But engagement rate is so much more important than the number of followers you have. There's so many things that actually are quite negative about going viral. Hey guys, I hope you're all well and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Tanvi and I talk pretty much all things life, friendships, relationships, career, fashion, beauty, a bit of everything. So if that's something that tickles your fancy, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And in today's video, we're talking about something that might seem quite weird coming from a content creator, and the title itself is probably a little bit clickbaity, I must admit. I've been feeling like this for such a long time and I feel like a lot of other people have as well. So I just thought, these things need to be said, let me just put it into a video and share it with you guys. This video is all about why I don't care about growing, and in particular growing really rapidly and really virally on social media, and why you shouldn't either. And if you want to hear what I've got to say on it, then keep watching. So just to caveat this video, I'm not saying don't grow on social media, because of course that is like the ultimate aim, is to grow and build that organic community. But emphasis on organic, and when you want to build something organic, it really does take a lot of time and a lot of effort. And I think we've become so caught up on looking at the latest trends and the latest algorithms and like how we can grow quickly and rapidly. And I always see like recommended videos on YouTube, like how to gain 1,000 followers in a week. And the thing is that while that is all good and well, and I'm not discrediting anyone that talks about that stuff because it is important to grow, I think it's more important to focus on slow growth and organic growth and building a community that actually is really engaged. Going viral is really cool, and don't get me wrong, it's happened to me quite a few times on TikTok, and you get an influx of followers and often you can get hundreds and thousands of followers in a day or a week, which is really great because on the surface it looks like you have loads of followers and you know your account's growing and it makes you feel good, and even I'm guilty of that. However, there's so many things that actually are quite negative about going viral. Firstly, you get a huge influx of followers, and the reason why you're probably going viral is because on Instagram you're probably being pushed out to the explore page, or on TikTok the for you page, and that means a whole bunch of new people, strangers, are looking at your content. The people that don't know you or don't really usually engage in your content or don't follow you anyway, and that can come with so many negative things. First of all, a lot of trolling and negativity. Obviously that's a given with growing and social media anyway, but if you go viral, it almost catalyzes that. And if you're someone that maybe isn't used to receiving loads of hateful, nasty things, it can be quite a shock to the system and it can be really not that nice to read and hear. So that can happen a lot quicker and a lot faster if you do go viral. Secondly, because it's being pushed out to the For You page, who are complete strangers and might not necessarily have the same interests as what your niche is, it can mean you gain a whole new bunch of followers that actually aren't really engaged in what the purpose of your page is or the niche of your content is. You can also gain a whole new bunch of followers that aren't your target audience, and this quite often happens with girls that go viral because they look beautiful or purely based on appearance. A lot of men want to interact and follow them because of that, and in turn that can really harm your engagement. Or if you're looking to work with brands and they want stats and they want your analytics and they want to see your percentage and gender split, if it is like 70-80% men and 20% women, that can actually really harm you in the long run. Brands who are looking to get into influencer marketing and use you to promote products, for example, if it's fashion and women's clothing and your following looks really good on the outside but only 20% of them are actually women, brands are going to see that as a red flag, and actually a lot of your sales won't convert because men are not going to be buying the clothes that you're advertising, if that makes sense. Secondly, it's just not about numbers. Just to reiterate, I'm also guilty of looking at my followers going up and it making me happy and thinking that is the most important thing, but it's not. As I've already touched upon in this video, engagement rate is so much more important than the number of followers you have, and if you have a really engaged audience when you only have 1,000 or 2,000 followers, that is so much better than having a really detached and unengaged audience at like 30 to 50 followers. And I think in particular brands are actually moving towards micro influencers instead of huge macro influencers who actually aren't that in touch with their audience, because high engagement rates for them equals high conversion into sales, and that is literally what brands are looking to do with influencer marketing. So actually focus on your engagement rate, focus on building that organic community, focus on actually getting to know people that follow you, delivering them content that actually they want from you, because that is how you create that kind of two-way organic community. The next thing I wanted to touch upon is that this isn't my full-time job, and obviously this is quite a personal one, but Sometimes I think, why am I placing so much pressure on myself to churn out content, to make loads of money, to work with brands, to secure deals, when like I've got a full-time job and I work in finance and I'm very comfortable with, you know, the money that brings me, the satisfaction that I get from that job. So why do I place so much pressure on making social media almost like a secondary job? This goes for a lot of content creators I personally know. For a lot of us, it's a side hustle. And yes, the whole point of a side hustle is that it's another passive stream of income. But at the same time, you want to be able to enjoy it, and placing so much pressure on the numbers and constantly having to bring out new content and new ideas, keeping up with trends, can put a lot of pressure on you and almost take away from the fun. So actually just strip it all back and remember why we're doing it and make sure it's still fun and enjoyable. So that's something that I have to constantly remind myself, like, this isn't my full-time job and I don't need to place so much pressure on myself to grow my social medias. Moving on to the next point, which is quite similar to the previous, is do it for the right reasons. The goal of mine is to reach as many people as possible so that I can add value, educate, inspire to as many people as possible. Yes, that comes with growth, but at the end of the day, if I'm focusing on educating and inspiring those that already follow me, that for me is doing it for the right reasons instead of just trying to go viral for the sake of it and for the numbers. So it's kind of like a catch-22, like you want to do it for more people, but actually you should focus on the people you're already doing it for, because that's how growth comes naturally and you still enjoy it and you're still adding value. There are also ways to increase your reach and reach a lot more people without having to worry about, you know, constantly increasing your follower count. And that can be through like collaboration, that could be through reposting or sharing other people's content. It can be with working with brands. It can be in so many different ways. So you can gain a lot more exposure and reach from doing loads of different opportunities and loads of other ways, which I'm sure many of you are aware of, and if you want a video on that, please let me know. But actually, there's so many ways you can reach more people without worrying about the numbers themselves. The next thing I wanted to say, and actually this is such a big one for me and I experience this every single day, it is so much easier to maintain a really good community that is engaged and two-way and mutual when it's a smaller number. So I've definitely noticed as my pages have grown, I really struggle to reply to all my DMs. I really struggle to reply to every single one of my comments. I struggle to actually even acknowledge things I'm being tagged in or mentions. And it's quite hard to keep up with it as your account gets bigger. And obviously like huge scale influencers have like a whole team that stay on top of that and like reply to everyone or look through messages. But I feel quite strongly about doing it myself for as long as I possibly can, because I want to be able to see firsthand who is interacting with me. I want to be able to reply to my comments from myself and like give my own authentic response. So for as long as I can, I want to be able to do that on my own. But it's becoming really tricky, and I think it's so much easier if your account is smaller to maintain that control. And that is definitely like a negative that's overlooked with focusing on follower count. And last but not least, because I really did want to make this video quite like quick and short, is that there is just more to life than social media and more to life than focusing on how many people follow you. Like, I personally think it's more important to focus on real life relationships and your family and your friends in your real life off social media. And I know that can seem quite hypocritical because obviously I have all my social media platforms and channels and I do place emphasis on the people that follow me. But at the end of the day, there is like a whole life outside of social media. And if you get caught up in, you know, worrying about the trends and the followers and going viral, you can so easily forget about real life and what's actually important. I'm not saying that to discredit myself or any other content creators, because I of course love social media and there are so many positives to it, but I just wanted to make this video to basically be like, follower count, going viral, trends is not the be all and end all, and to relieve that pressure and give you a different perspective. I hope this video helped. If you want me to do any more videos on like social media, because I haven't really done that many, on like how I grew, how I got to where I am today, how I balance different platforms, how I use my different platforms in different ways. There's so many things I can talk about, as you probably have guessed. So yeah, leave some suggestions below if you want me to do videos on any of those things. And if not, I will catch you guys in my next video. And I'm sending you so much love, so take care and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.